Follow this wave. I don't wanna play the games you play. I don't want you to leave, I just wanna make you stay. Because I love the way your body day, okay? Follow this wave. I don't wanna play the games you play. I don't want you to leave, I just wanna make you stay. Because I love the way your body moves.
we got a question about relationships, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, they were talking about our sound was not there.
Oh,
So thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate you for telling.
go ahead and comment and let us know if you can hear us now.
Yeah, can you hear us? Can you hear us? Please tell us if you can hear us. That most likely was on me. I didn't accept it.
Oh, so it was you?
Yeah, it was on here. No, this one is good. Yeah, this one's good here.
Oh, okay.
So are we no longer on mute, or can they hear us?
Yeah, can. Okay, they can hear us. They can hear us.
Perfect. So we went through like 15 minutes was like nothing because nobody could hear us.
Right.
Well, not necessarily because you had it right there.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, thank y'all. Thank y'all. I wish somebody would have said that sooner though.
They were trying to read our lips. A parody out of it. All right, so what was the question?
Next time I'll be able to.
Right.
Right.
So what question did we want to cover on today's
so
topic?
yes, today's topics are relationships 50-50.
They never can be. Okay.
They can never be 50-50.
I was going to agree with both of y'all. I was going to.
Oh, no, I was just repeating what she said.
Oh.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think if you do force it 50-50, then you are almost welcoming a destruction in a sense, because women already go into a relationship expecting you to almost probably get more than 50, and they get whatever they get. It's probably when you've established a relationship that you guys discuss what you're going to handle, what she's going to handle, and what she's comfortable with, and what he's comfortable with. Now, this is the thing that almost gets me sometimes. Women that are in a relationship or they're talking to a guy, no, it has to be a relationship if it's going to be 50-50. So they're talking about splitting stuff. So they're with a guy and they are either making equivalent or they're making more, and they still expect a 50-50. Now, that's a question I want to ask if that's fair. And the guy, not to say that the guy's complaining about it, but do we not almost see it as a woman taking advantage of the fact that she's making more? She could put more on the table, but she just refuses to and lets the guy do it. How about that? How about that as being?
Well, hold on.
Well, first, you should give the definition of what 50-50 is for those that don't even know what 50-50 is. You see what I'm saying? Because it could be.
We're talking about 50-50 of like finances?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well,
you got to figure out.
Oh, well, I was actually just thinking 50-50 in a relationship, period.
But that has
Like,
so much dynamics.
There's so many dynamics.
Yeah. Well, 50-50 as far as house chores?
House
50-50
chores.
as far as like finances?
Well, I would think all of that comes into play when you're in a relationship. If you're in a committed relationship.
Because if you have a kid, a man can never give 50-50.
But that's what I was going to say. A relationship is never going to be 50-50.
Well, then that
well, we're talking about different dynamics, right?
Dynamics and being financial is where I wanted to actually narrow in on.
Yeah, because we need to narrow in on each part.
Okay, let's go.
Because if we talk about the kids, I only see a father being more than 50 if the mother is either she's a traveling, she's a surgeon, she's not there, she can't be there, she's passed away. Like, unfortunately, DC Young Fly is going to be the mother, the father, the caregiver, everything, unless he hires somebody to do that.
Right.
But that's a situation that you can't change his situation.
Right.
But if you're married and you and your wife have a child, your child is automatically going to be attached to your wife. That's just how life is. She might be a daddy's girl or he might be a daddy's boy, but he's not going to be as attached to you as he is to his mother. It's just that natural instinct that we all have.
Well, Jamie says, yes, if you're equally yoked. And
that's a good point. Yeah, if you are equally yoked, you have two successful people coming together, right? Mm-hmm. The guy's already he's already established in paying everything for himself. He's already established that he has help to take care of the whole household, so she doesn't. Then he doesn't.
It's not 50-50 then.
It's not even a percentage because neither of them are doing anything. It's his money that's probably coming in from and let's just use Jeff Bezos as a perfect example.
Okay.
He's a billionaire, right? Mm-hmm. His fiance / or his wife right now, I don't know if they're married. She's not one.
Okay.
She never has to worry about paying a bill.
Right.
He necessarily doesn't have to worry about paying a bill either because he's amassed so much wealth that he probably has hired somebody he has hired somebody to do that for him, right?
Right.
So he's not bringing anything.
Yes, he is.
What is he bringing?
That's his money. That's it. That's his. That's literally his money. If you basically say, let's remove his money.
Coming home from a 9 to 5 every day, working as hard.
But that doesn't mean
You're right.
But that doesn't mean he's not doing nothing. The fact that he's bringing in money means that he's doing something. And if they're using his money, to fund everything, then he's really doing everything.
So what should she provide?
Whatever he needs.
What was the thing you said in the last episode? Arch your back and
you got to bring more than that. You got to bring more than that. You just can't bring.
So you're expecting more than that, like get in the kitchen and cook type stuff, keep the house clean type stuff.
Don't need to do that if you're a billionaire.
Yeah, if you're a billionaire,
that's what I'm asking. So what is she bringing to the table?
What
else is she bringing? I need a purpose.
You could bring.
She's a female. What does a woman bring to the table if she's married to a billionaire? And he brings all the finances, all the maids, all the cooks.
I say whatever he needs. Whatever he needs you to be.
It has to be something. What is it? Tangible is touching, right? Yeah, it has to be something intangible that no other woman can get.
Right.
Give him.
Okay.
So it might be something. It might be like It might be something like what do you call it? An emotional like
emotional bond.
Yeah, bond or some sort of emotional security or maybe she's his peace. Like when he comes home from work, she's just someone he enjoys coming home to, and she makes him happy.
So let's bring it down to us regular folks, right?
Mm-hmm.
I watched a video recently, and this is a perfect example of what the 50-50 topic is right now.
Okay.
You did a little shimmy right there for the camera.
Oh yeah. I was feeling myself.
It's the hair, bro.
Yes, it's the hair. You feel brand new with the hair.
No, I'm just.
He about to be out of town in a little bit.
You about to be out of town too.
I don't have my hair like my
hair.
Just
not showing.
I just put the do-rag on.
Oh, because to take the waves.
So I get a haircut before our trip. Nah, but the video I watched, right, was a man that comes home. It's him, his baby mother, and their child that live together. And he comes home and kicks her out. And he is so upset that the house is a mess. There are roaches and ants all over the house. And he says, I pay $1,800 a month for this apartment. You don't clean. You don't work. All you have to do is take care of the child and take care of the home. And her argument was, why are you kicking me out? I'm the mother of your child. Regardless of how the house looks, I'm still the mother of your child. So she almost, guilted him into not kicking her out the house. But is he also wrong for kicking her out over the fact that he probably gave her the option of staying home, take care of the home, take care of the child? I'll go out there and I'll hustle and make the money.
To be honest with you,
since we're talking finance, let's go ahead and dig down to how, if say my wife is the one that's making all the money and I'm the one that's supposed to stay at home.
Hold on. Before you continue, Jamie said, look at J and B. Mm-hmm. 2 billionaires coming to the table to communicate and set expectations off top of what they expect out of their marriage/relationship.
Yeah, but a lot of people that look at Jay and Beyonce don't also realize it. It took them a long time for them to get to where they're at right now. There was a lot of stuff that we didn't see that I think somebody wrote a book about. I don't know who wrote a book or who said, no, it was in Beyonce's, one of her albums that they said Jay-Z had cheated.
The Lemonade album.
There we go, whatever album that was. But what I'm trying to say is she's absolutely right in the sense that Jay-Z and Beyonce came to the table and they've created something that, a lot of Black people would love to duplicate. They would love to be in a relationship that's so secure, both financially, emotionally, spiritually. You want to add sexually into that also. But I am a firm believer that a lot of us, we look at what we see on social media or on the news and we automatically praise it without acknowledging that there was a lot of work to get to where they're at. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like for every Jay-Z and Beyonce, they're not going to be a lot of Jay-Z and Beyonce. But there have been a lot that've tried. That's what I'm trying to tell you. A lot of people have tried to make a power couple, a successful couple, but they just couldn't last.
Well, it's because you have to be. Everybody has a role. You have to know your role.
And some people are not willing to take. You see, everybody also doesn't. They don't really realize that Beyonce probably does a lot of submitting to Jay-Z at home.
To be honest,
and they don't want to hear that.
To be honest with you, I don't think people realize how much of a family woman she is.
Yeah.
You know, this woman does
There's-
She takes. I think she spends most of her time with her family than she does any type of like, music or
lifestyle,
any,
other business
because
she has going.
right. I think she just did. I think this tour she's doing is because, you know, for her fans. But before this album? When was the last time she dropped the album? This woman just be coming out of the blue, popping albums out.
Yeah.
You don't see her coming out frequently with albums and stuff like that, like how you see other people doing.
Absolutely.
You know, so it's I think she does spend a lot of quality time with her family. She doesn't let her career consume her, you know, her family time.
She also she can stand on the fact that she's been through what any other regular person will go through. She's been cheated on, and she stood in her marriage. I didn't say it was easy. I didn't say she said it was no big deal, and Jay-Z didn't have to do much to work it out. He had to, you know, really work it out. So then you have Beyonce that stayed, right? And then you have other girls that are telling people that, you know, if he cheats on you, you got to leave. You know, it's up from there, you know, and then you leave and you don't really fight for. And yes, if the roles were reversed, because I know a lot of girls are going to say this, well, what if your girl cheated on you? You know, unfortunately, what I'm about to say right now might sound like a whole bunch of BS, but it's the truth. And that is our hearts is nowhere close to being as strong as a woman's heart. So certain stuff that women can handle, unfortunately, it'll break a man if a man comes home and finds out that his wife is in bed with another guy.
I tell people,
everybody gonna die.
Look, I tell people all the time.
Girls are gonna cry.
I say men love differently from women.
We love hard.
Like,
we love foolishly sometimes too.
Yeah, because I think this is the thing. I think a lot of men, they fall in love with the idea, you know, the idea of a woman, in the sense of like, they fall in love with the whole, oh yeah, she needs me, she loves me, da 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 da. You know, I see her being the mother of my children. You know, that fairy tale love. Right.
You see a lot of us also we don't even take time to read the book. We just look at the cover and we start to paint our own pictures,
right,
without reading her book. We want to create a book.
We want to create her book for her. Right. And that's why
she's crazy.
Right. And that's why when you brought up that example with the guy and the kicking out his mom, I mean, I gotta kind of side on the mom.
That he was wrong for kicking her out?
You want me to tell you why?
Please.
You knew who you were dealing with when you popped the baby in. You knew who you were dealing with. Unless you're gonna
one human being
unless you're gonna kick her out.
Unfortunately, not
and
one
keep the
human
kid.
being can tell you that before she got pregnant, she wasn't shit. And after she got pregnant, she wasn't shit either. I've seen people that weren't shit have a baby and they became like very responsible people.
Okay, but that's the risk. No, but that's the risk you have to take. You can't force somebody to be something that they're not.
I don't blame him at all.
You can't force somebody.
I don't blame the fact that he told her all you gotta do is clean the house and take care of the baby. And then he comes home and the whole house is a mess.
Look.
And his frustration is the fact that he's out there all day. Now it's a different situation, I believe, if he worked from home.
Look,
if he works from home and he says he brings in all this money, he's been at work all day and the house is dirty, I think that's different. But he left the house, comes home.
I'm not saying that.
You ever come home and
I'm not saying he doesn't have a right to be upset.
But you
I'm not saying
her.
The reason why is because you have a responsibility to that child.
You had a
forget the issues that you have with the mom. Forget the issue. The child is more important.
Yes.
The child is more important.
The child is
more
important.
So you need to think about the child. That's why I cannot. That's because look, if we're gonna tell, and I'm not saying you specifically, but when you go online and you listen to a lot of these podcasts and they're telling guys that, hey, women need to take responsibility for their actions and their choices. Men have to do the same exact thing. You need to know the person that you are laying down with.
Now, you're really acting like people don't change either.
I'm not saying
people do change,
but I'm not saying people. That's not what I said.
Baby, she became lazy.
How do we know she was like that before? How do we know she wasn't like that before?
He would have moved her in. No,
You don't
she
think so?
I don't think so. The way he was frustrated.
Because we don't
I'll
know.
send you that link too,
Because
so
we
you
don't-
can watch it yourself.
because
You can see the frustration in his voice. But you may be right. You know what I'm saying? But you have your opinion, the fact that he knew what he was getting into before he got with her. So it's almost like it's your bed. You made it. Go ahead and lay in it. And I'm under the impression that when they got together, he was responsible enough to say, "I'm going to move you and our child into." He probably didn't even want to force his family, but he wanted to do what was best for the child. So they moved in, and he told her, and she agreed. So by you saying that in the past she wasn't shit anyway, he should have known that. By the time they agreed to something, it's an agreement. You see, brother, if you was a crackhead for 5 years and you came up to me and said, "I've stopped doing crack. I need a loan for $1,500 to pay for something," and I gave you that $1,500, and you went to go do crack, who's to blame?
But if you're telling
Who's
me,
to blame?
Who's to blame?
It's me.
Yeah.
You was a crackhead for 5 years.
Okay,
You
so
agreed to
you're
something.
proving my point,
You
though. So
agreed
that
to-
means she was a dirty. That should be she was a dirty woman.
But I never said she was a dirty woman.
But
I
your
said-
example is kind of going with my point.
Mhm.
If you know these, if you see certain things, and this is the one thing we have to realize.
But
And
they
we-
never saw anything past a baby they didn't have at the time. They were still trying to work something out because she was about to have a baby. He says, and I'm only speculating because the video only starts of him kicking her out.
Right.
He says, "You can move in, but this is what you're going to have to do." She says, "Okay. I will take care of the baby," which she was. I will make sure that the house is clean. She wasn't. She did one and didn't do the other. And he comes home. You come home. Your wife has the whole, or your girl, or your fiance has a whole condo apartment, just a mess. The kitchen is dirty.
Well,
You
I'm
see,
not being with somebody that's dirty.
so you kick her out, right?
You said what?
You kick her out, or you break up.
Well, I wouldn't even like.
It's not you wouldn't. You guys are already married.
But the thing,
Okay,
you see, the thing is,
she moved in with you.
Is
She's
before
moved in with you.
wait. Before we got married,
Mhm.
before we started dating,
Mhm.
was she a clean person?
I don't know, because she was hiding. You go to an apartment, everything's
You
clean,
see,
and then you move in together, and it's a different
but
scenario.
you see, the thing is, and that's why I think we need
People lie to get acceptance.
to. You can only lie for so long. You can't lie for years.
Well, with the lie, you can also start to form a changing of your habit,
There,
so that you
you
can
can't.
appease this
No,
person.
you see, that's the thing. You can only lie for so long. You cannot keep up a lie for so long, because if you try, you're gonna mess up, and then next thing you know, boom, you're still gonna get caught. You can only keep it up for so long, unless you saw these red flags, but you were so in love, you overlooked them.
You got a point.
And I can admit that we do that. We will see red flags,
We still want to dive in.
exactly.
The whole house is on fire.
But we be like, shoot, fuck the house.
Our relationship's 50-50.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so at all.
I think relationships would be whatever you and your partner agree on.
But I don't think it'll ever be 50-50. There will be
It
times
could be
when,
90-10.
yeah, because there
It
will be
could be
times.
40-60. It could be 50. It could be 70-30. But as far as a 50-50, I just feel like my biggest pet peeve is when people go into a relationship and they lay down their rules and they automatically expect that person agrees to the rules without understanding that person's point of view. Another thing that grinds my gears are especially women that have their dating rules. This is all going to catch her attention because she's been on her phone the whole time. When girls say, "I'm not going to have sex for at least 6 dates in, or we're not going to do anything for 6 dates in," and this you get to the 6th date, and then a month after that, you guys are no longer talking. Did your rules actually work?
Nah.
Instead of just going with the flow, right? If you meet a nice girl, a nice guy, and everything's going very well, you don't have any kind of, and I'm not saying that every girl or every guy that you meet is going to give you these butterflies in your stomach or this intuition that everything's going so well, because we do have wolves in sheep clothing. Is that the same? Wolves in sheep clothing.
That's true.
But what I'm trying to say is you do have a gut feeling like this person is a good person, and maybe I should let my guard down a little bit and just entertain the idea. You never know, the person might be giving you the happiest moments of your life, right? Versus you shutting everybody that comes over. especially you be at the club and you see like 5-6 girls dancing, and then a guy comes from behind and he's either trying to dance with one of the girls that he thinks she's the one that he wants to, and all
the girls look at you
and they're doing this
and they're like,
and then the girl turns around like,
from that arch in the back, they just got poked in the back. You're like,
they go start dancing with their girlfriends. They don't dance. They don't dance by themselves.
Oh, wait. Jamie has a question first. So she said, "So would you date a woman who's celibate until married?"
Wow.
What's
your answer?
Nah.
Your answer is no. Why?
Nah. Because we all have kind of. Because first of all, celibate means you had sex before.
Yes.
And now you decided to abstain, right? I didn't agree to that. I didn't agree to that.
Agreeing.
I would still have needs.
This is true.
So what am I supposed to do?
She wants you to pray about it. I think celibacy has to be something that both parties are either going into on the same page, or they probably agree to it after maybe getting closer to their religion. Like a religious type of reason.
You both agree to it.
The story I heard was a guy that he never had sex with his girl. She was a virgin, and they was dry humping one day, and he got the pop in the microwave had popped. You know what I'm saying? So then a couple of weeks later, she calls and says her period is late, and he's thinking, this is impossible.
Right.
But then
I just humped you.
Exactly. But then the science says that it's very possible.
If you hump her,
that if you around her and it leaks in her, she could get pregnant.
But
correct me if I'm wrong. Exactly.
But I thought once it hits air, they die off.
No, for a period of time. But if you're dry humping and you guys are still together and you guys are cuddling after and it kind of slips in, she could get pregnant.
Oh, we got to do the whole thing then.
That's my point.
We got to do.
He was so upset that he had dry humped and got her pregnant. He started calling himself Jesus. He said, "I might be Jesus. I might as well be Jesus." Because I got her pregnant without doing. We didn't do anything.
Jamie said you can always do hand stuff. Nah, I'm too old for hand stuff.
Probably what's happening is that he probably had his dick and her pussy was open, just rubbing and let me just put my tip in. That's probably what ended up happening. He just didn't put the tip in.
He wanted a tip.
Well, you a daddy now, and you ain't even break a hundred.
That's the real shit. That's what really probably happened.
You a daddy, and you don't even get the benefits of becoming a daddy.
That led me to why he became celibate, because
he was afraid to get somebody else pregnant.
So he felt like this was the worst thing that could ever happen to him.
Well, if you both agree to it,
he was with a virgin. They dry humped. She thought she was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine, even explaining this to anybody?
Y'all better stop dry humping out here. Y'all better stop dry humping out here.
Or if you dry hump, use protection.
Yeah.
Or just leave your
goat skin.
Leave your box.
So here you go. For those that don't know the difference, go ahead and read that real quick. Because I think people don't understand the difference between being abstinent.
Okay, so abstinence refers to the voluntary restraint from engaging or indulging in activities or substances. Sobriety refers to the condition whereby a person does not have measurable effects or levels of alcohol. Okay, so that means you're restraining yourself from engaging or indulging in
Who asked that question?
Jamie.
So I want to ask Jamie a question, or I'm going to ask you a question. What is so important about celibacy? Why is there such a big stamp on that? I want to be celibate until I find somebody that I can, spend either the rest of my life with and then have sex with.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
My bad, I gave it the wrong one.
Why is you being celibate so important going forward in your life? Is it because
Don't ask me that.
the sex is like is an energy thing. You're releasing energy, or you're giving your body to just anybody and everybody. And like, why are you going from you had sex and then you're saying I don't want to have sex anymore until I meet the right person, and you go like 7 years without having sex with anybody, even though you've met some.
You're not asking.
Really,
you're asking her, right?
Or
Jamie.
I'm looking, Jamie.
This was you, Jamie,
or females in general.
Or
go ahead and
females
comment.
in general.
Because I think that females are way more celibate than men.
Well, I mean, no. Actually, you're right. You're right. Because men are never usually abstinent from sex by choice.
No,
it's not. There are some men, but majority of men are not having sex, not because
any woman right now that thinks that their man is agreeing to your celibacy, go ahead and tell him right now.
Be like, babe, let's have some sex.
Okay, so celibate is being abstinent. Basically, you're being abstinent till you get married.
Right.
That's the difference, y'all. So someone saying they're celibate means that they're proclaiming that they will not have sexual relations, any marriage for majorly, religious reasons. Okay. So abstinence, y'all, is if you just choose not to have sex. So sometimes women tend to
use the wrong words.
Huh?
They use the wrong word. You're saying they're being celibate instead of saying they're abstaining from sex.
Yes, and that's a lot that people don't understand.
Okay,
is when you don't. That's the reason.
Talking.
That's the reason why I wanted. I'm sorry. I don't know why I gave you sobriety.
Yeah, I was worried. I was like,
when you said alcohol,
wait, when you said sobriety, I said it was sobriety.
I said sobriety. Hey, I just read what you gave me.
You stopped.
Right. I was like,
sobriety. No, that's not the right one.
I was like, well, let me just read it.
But the first part was right.
Okay, wait, hold on. Jamie responded. She said, so first, I'm a proud Christian. I never agreed with it.
Amen.
I need to test the cow first. But after the trial and error, things had changed. To the next time, we're going to have to wait.
Ooh. Okay.
So that just means you put it down.
No, you're abstaining. You're abstaining from having sex. But she did put it down though. She did mention the religious part. She said she's a Christian.
Right, which that's where celibacy comes from. So it's for religious reasons.
Okay, yeah.
So when someone says that they're not going to have sex before marriage, they are saying that they are celibate.
Right.
Someone who's saying, hey, I'm not having sex right now until I find my husband. Till I find my husband does not mean that you're married. Until you find somebody that think
fits
is
the profile
of a husband.
Right.
That's the thing. Everybody has to realize that there's certain definitions for certain things, and you need to go and look at those definitions because a lot of people have been using these two words wrong.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I just got a clear definition sitting right here when you read it to me. Because I never ever thought that there was a difference between abstaining from sex and then being celibate.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I used to use both of them.
I used to use celibate for everything.
I used to use both of them. I'd be like abstain. I used to say abstain, abstinence, and I used to say celibacy. But I was just using them either way. I wasn't even caring which one was which one.
So basically, this is kind of like what from my during the years of relationship shows. Is that a lot of women tend to get to a place where they get to a spiritual place where they're like, look, I can't take on no more soul ties.
That's what you think that, okay, you're a woman, so I can't argue that. You know what I think they go through?
What?
They feel like they're tired of being used for one thing.
Right.
And that's their body. And then they try to tie that into, I think they try to tie their religion into that.
Okay, let's get it.
Because they have no other outlets. You see, as much as women are being used for their body, their bodies, men are also. We're just the one chasing, right?
Right.
Well, because we have to. We have to.
No, there's some women that'll throw themselves.
No. It's not a lot. It's not a lot of them.
You're right.
It's not a lot of them.
If we lined up all these male celebrities, the Ushers, Chris Browns,
they're getting
they're getting pussy.
Well, what's the percentage? What are percentage of that?
Claim he slept with.
You name this. You name it.
But you have to also understand, like there are certain.
You name the celebrities though. These are like one. These are like 5 to 1%
The
men.
ratio for a man to a woman is 8 to 1. A man can date 8 women in the
right.
That's my point.
But I'm saying that for the regular guy, I'm talking about for the regular guy, they not getting females the way that females be thinking that men are getting.
They're not. but they are. And as
There
many
are certain
women,
men.
there's certain
Men.
there's certain men that can use their money to get the pussy. I don't mean to be too vulgar. If I am, then let me just change it to something else. There's certain men that can use their money to get the women,
pum
The innards.
the pum pum,
The innards.
the innards,
Yeah.
the dinner date.
Yeah.
And there's certain men that can use their words to do that.
Yeah,
There's
they're
certain
charming.
women that can use their body to get what they want, and certain women that can use their face and their aura, because certain women have a beautiful face, but they don't have the fatties, they don't have the big, boobs, they don't have the curvy
Okay.
body, but they have a beautiful face.
Hold on, time out.
Right.
Then let's get into it. Then.
Mhm.
Let's
Okay,
get into
no,
it.
because I'm not done with my celibate. Let me finish. Because I have to object to what he said.
Okay.
Okay.
There's a lot of different reasons why some women are celibate, but a lot of times it does have to do with soul ties when you're talking about a religious standpoint.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? Because we got to remember, celibacy is religion, abstinence is refraining from
And
it.
this is how
So
I cut
more
her-
like
this is how I cut you down. You've been a Christian your whole life. Why did you have to go through 10 bodies to go back to your religious?
no,
time?
but see, that's the thing,
You
right?
collected so many souls. You feel
No,
like-
it's not necessarily you collecting so many souls. Is that women are seeing? This is the thing.
Mhm. I want to.
Men most women don't realize each man that you sleep with, you become a part of him.
Yes.
Right? So women are more in tune with that. So sometimes, a lot of women, oh, I'm Christian, da da da. Depending on your childhood, some of y'all say, shit, I'm at my parents' house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Or as soon as church is over, you blasting,
right.
you blasting
Because
little baby. And
I'm just going to keep it transparent. Christian women are the most
say it.
freakiest
There
women
we
ever.
go.
Okay.
I was about to name a specific one, but
Let's hear
no, it's not gonna be me.
it.
No,
Give us a
the
hint.
thing about it is that you already know that life situations cause people.
The Catholic
The Catholic ones?
in the back. And no, let's not even talk about the Catholic.
Lord,
Let's talk about those
as
priests
they
and-
go to
Oh, no, I
confess
was
their
even-
sins
Yes.
to the Pope.
They
Okay.
be confessing.
I honestly wonder sometimes how God looks down on all these people that call themselves messengers for God. The priests.
Well, that's another
that's
show
fine.
we talking
I
about.
don't want to get into that.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
But
let's not.
yeah,
I've
me
heard a lot
and you
of
will
women-
go down the rabbit hole.
Let's
So
not,
let me
let's not.
finish what I gotta say.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So basically, you will have women that have said, I ain't gonna have sex, and then they meet that one person who got the money or got the mouthpiece,
Or back
or
alone.
they like, you know what, I'm in love, because women
Emotional.
tend, yes, they
That's all
tend
they
to
want.
move, they tend to operate in emotions, and when they operate in emotions, they tend to what? In time their emotion has a reaction to it. You see what I'm saying? Until they come to a point of being logic, I would say maturing the logic part of their selves. But a lot of times when women do become celibate after releasing, it's some of them are like, yo, I can't go through this no more. I can't be tying myself up with some people. Some people may be like, hey, I don't want to be used anymore. I'm being used for my body. But then there's some that say, you know what? I ain't having sex with nobody. And the thing about it is, just like you found out today, is people are using those words wrong. So
a
as
lot of women are also lying to themselves by saying that they don't want to give themselves to anybody else instead of them facing the fact that they are the problem. If you've gone through multiple men
But some of
and you
them.
haven't found somebody that can actually be that person that you can secure, there's something wrong with you.
I mean,
You've talked to like 8 people in the past 3 years. Why is that? Why is it that a woman?
Some just want to have sex, bro.
And I'm not, but I'm specifically talking about the women that are saying I'm looking for that Mr. Right.
right.
And they dated like 5 men in 2 years. And these men all have the same reasons on why they don't want to work out. But you in return flipping and say that these men are the problem. You're lying to yourself.
Well, a
And
lot
then
of people,
you've gone through 5 bodies, and then you want to become celibate, not understanding that even if you get closer to God, you are still the problem. You still don't want to address the fact that I have an attitude problem.
Mhm.
I am not willing to submit to the man that I'm with. Submission. We've talked about
You
this.
don't
but
like that word.
Exactly. Women don't like that word. But
because
submission.
they don't know the definition of it. But go ahead.
Thank you. Submission to me.
A lot of things happen
I
because
know.
of
Submission
definition.
to
I know.
a man. Any woman that submits to a man that she considers she's going to marry or he's going to be her leader.
She's just yielding to him.
She
It's-
is setting up herself for royalty.
It's
Let me tell you that. Let me say it again.
It's willing obedience, basically.
A
It's
woman
willingly
that's
being
willing to submit.
So it's called yielding.
A
But
woman that's willing to submit.
Yielding doesn't mean obedience.
Well, I don't mean like obedience, but I mean
You have
I use
to
the wrong
use
word.
when you yes.
I
You
use the
have
wrong
to
word.
be when you
Obedience
get into
means
this
willing.
when you get
Yielding is like you're.
Yeah, I use the
queen.
wrong word. I mean,
I need you to take care of the house if you don't mind.
no, it's like
and
You
she's
put some sweet words in behind it so she doesn't feel like she's like
No.
she's the house girl.
no.
Yes,
it's more.
thank
It's
you.
more of the woman is willingly giving you the power to lead. Yes, thank
What's
you.
wrong with the man making all the money and then he wakes up and his wife or his girl or his fiance she's made breakfast? Why does the man have to wake up and ask her to make breakfast?
Okay.
Why
First,
does he have to wake up and she said, let's go order some IHOP. Let's order some Waffle House.
Listen, you want to know what?
Let's
Let
order
me tell
some Cracker Barrel.
I'm gonna have to
Don't
take
go to Cracker
over.
Barrel.
I'm gonna have to take
Don't go
over
to
like
Cracker
Lagos
Barrel.
traffic.
Cracker
I'm gonna have to
Barrel
take it
always
over
reminds me of
because
like
you want to know
Sunday.
what's happening is that you say something, you don't let me have time, then you move to the next topic, and I'm like, I want to say something
Our
with
time's
that.
very limited.
So first,
we
let
already
me,
started booking 2 hours. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
so
We
let
got
me
like
say
13 minutes.
so let me say this. The thing about the thing is a lot of women do not have self-awareness is because self-awareness is not taught because the person that taught them don't have self-awareness.
Who's teaching them?
Their mom. Do you see what I'm saying?
So
They
where
are
should they
with
get it
it.
from?
Huh?
Where should they get it from? The self-awareness. Who's supposed to be the person?
But see that right there. Sometimes
it's not
it's the
just-
father. Sometimes it's the father that shows self-awareness, but we cannot use that. And what I realize is that when you have a lineage going this certain way, it takes that one person to wake up to change it. You see what I'm saying? And the likelihood is that you will have women that will flock to the same women with the same mindset.
Yes.
So therefore, they never unlock that true potential in themselves because they're hanging around yes men. You see what I'm saying? And it just takes some people to hit the wall to be like, okay, yeah, I done been with like 20 niggas and something ain't right. I need to go talk to a therapist.
But why
you know
does
what I'm
that?
saying?
But why do people have to wait that long? That's the problem.
The thing about it is that you don't know what life is going to give you. You see what I'm saying? Some people go into things so like let's use this. You may lose someone at 10. So you know what loss of someone special means, right? I can't relate to you because I ain't lost nobody. But once I step into that realm of, oh my God, I lost somebody important, now I can say, hey, I know what you're talking about. So the lessons of life does not always come at the same time with everybody else, but also you are who your top 5 people are. Yeah. So if you are around people that think that there ain't shit wrong with them, you ain't even gonna look to see if something's wrong with you because you have your 5 people telling that your shit don't stink, they shit don't stink. So all of y'all going out saying y'all shit don't stink until one of y'all runs into an individual like him and gets pump your brakes, which you're not that good looking. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's only because I truly believe that a group of I mean no offense to this, but I always hate when I hear people say white women are more submissive than black women. But then if you actually sit down and you look around and you see that a lot of black women are the ones that are screaming the independence and I ain't taking shit from no nigga and I can do it myself, I can blah 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 blah. You almost sit back and you think, who's telling these women that this mindset is okay? Is it the female rappers that are out there? Is it the
So
that's a long story.
No,
because you're moving, it's not tied to celibacy.
We're still talking celibacy.
No, you gotta stay on the topic.
I thought we were talking submissive. I thought we were already
no.
Celibacy. Okay. Let's go ahead and let's stay with the celibacy. I thought we were talking submissive. That's my bad.
Because you just said because he said how long does it take for somebody to open up? Because you just said why does it take 5-6 niggas for you to figure out something's wrong with you? And then I said due to that is because it's passed down. You see what I'm saying? It takes somebody to be taken out of that situation to see that this is not it. And a lot of times people. That's why a lot of people go through changes. Like they'll get you have a change when you go through high school. There's another change after college. There's another change after college. There's a change when you get your first job. There's a change after you get a raise. There's a change when you lose. These things that happen, these major events happen, changes a person's mind. Like, I'll use me for example, right? I got dogged out far as like got cheated on. I didn't date nobody long distance for a very long time because I would look like, okay, my probability of that happening again in my head is a higher percentage now, which could not be true. But due to the fact that I went through it, I have now put in my head that long distance relationship equals a higher percent of being cheated on, which is not true. So therefore, you'll have women doing the same thing when it comes to sex. Do you see what I'm saying?
And
which will be, let me finish, which would be the
Yeah,
same.
let her land. Let her land, bro. She's spitting right now.
Go
She's
ahead.
spitting right
Can
now.
you stop and let her go? Stop. Continue, please.
And so now you have, and it's the same concept.
Okay.
Now you have women that will say, hey, I had sex with this dude, it didn't work. I had sex with this dude, it didn't work. I had sex with this dude. You know what? I'm just going to stop having sex. Because then I do not, the percentage of me getting hurt, the percentage of me catching feelings, the percentage of me catching the disease, the percentage of, goes down when you keep your legs closed.
Okay, but this is also a thing though.
Them legs closed.
And this is where we have to talk
That's
about
why
it.
there's toys and robes.
It's the people you choosing. You have,
Right,
you have-
but
Boom.
people don't like, but
Your
like
attraction to
it's-
those
it's-
five niggas
it's the
that you said ain't shit is not going to
because I tell people,
right.
I tell
but
people this
women
all the
don't
time.
understand that what women are not like now. Women are starting to come to it because these are the taboo things that people are talking about due to podcasts.
All right, I got you, Jay.
You see what I'm saying? What Jay gotta say?
But she said let you talk.
See, I said it. I had to
Let you
scream it.
talk.
Let her land. She's spitting right now. Now, I want to say something right quick.
Go ahead.
I do totally agree with you. I can't dispute what you're saying because you're a woman, you know? And for me and my brother right here,
You're thinking logically.
yeah, I'm thinking.
No, I'm disputing.
I know he's.
I'm
not.
disputing.
He ain't disputing.
I'm disputing. I got something to say.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish. I got something to say.
And I'm about to shut it down. Go ahead. We got 11 minutes.
This is your building.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
so while I do completely agree with you, I still will stand on what I believe, and that is a woman will get frustrated over her thinking that every nigga that she's been with ain't shit because it didn't work out, this, and that. I'm just not gonna give my body to nobody else. Instead of her actually addressing the real problem, and that what am I doing wrong that's making these men run away?
Right.
Right.
But people,
And it doesn't always, I guarantee you, doesn't always include sex. You ever seen like who did Drake have a baby with?
A porn star.
A porn star. He didn't go look for no
Okay,
royalty.
I got something to
He
say.
didn't go look for no actress. He had a baby with a porn star, which means that he probably met her. They vibe like crazy.
Nah. Okay,
We
never mind.
weren't there.
Okay,
Drake
you're right.
could meet anybody.
You're
Drake
right.
could literally have
You're
sex
right. You're right.
with anybody. Well, not anybody, but he could pick who he wants. He made a baby with a porn star, which means that they had but they had chemistry. Right.
But can we also agree that
ASAP
I'm not
and
saying that it's true, but sometimes things happen.
This
You
is
have
true.
sex with
And
somebody.
I'm also going to
and
tell you
then-
that Drake was having a lot of sex before this porn star.
no,
Right?
but she could have set him up and broke the condom and stuff.
She could have, but I've also heard the story that Drake puts hot sauce on his condoms or in his condom and kills the babies. Could be wrong, could be right.
But was this?
Whatever.
I think that one came up after
Who
he
knows?
had some.
All I'm saying is that there are certain guys that will meet girls that are not. They don't have the best job. They're not, the curviest. They're just dope people. They vibe with them, and these girls don't walk around saying that they haven't.
Can I? Okay.
I wanted to just throw an Erica Badu in there.
Well,
so
no.
anybody that messes with her. you know.
Yes,
I was-
she
Her-
do.
Yeah,
She
she put you
claims
on
it.
your.
She puts your soul in a
something.
jar.
I am
Eric-
tired of your shit.
But I'm gonna be real though. She changed. Sometimes she changed you for the best.
She changes you for the
'Cause-
best.
And I mean
She
career wise.
takes- she takes your
Because
brain,
look what
how
happened.
you think logically, and she puts.
Look what happened to Andre. Look what happened to Common. I mean, they
Andre
literally.
sat his ass down.
I seen the video. They say
Oh,
Andre
yeah.
was in Japan playing like this big flute, just walking around Japan like he was.
Bro, that guy's a beast. I ain't even going to front. But no,
Okay.
let me get back
Yeah.
to what I was saying though. Hold on.
Yeah,
Let me get
go
back to
ahead.
what I was saying.
Yeah,
Got
go
like
ahead.
8 minutes. Come on.
Because this is what I want to say. When it comes to the whole thing about, having sex with different people, unless that's what you want to do, but if you're really trying to look for somebody, I would say you having sex with a guy on the first date or on the 17th date isn't going to make a difference. Because that man is
That's why
because if that man
with these rules are
Right,
ludicrous.
right.
They're only playing themselves.
because a man will wait.
Like
a man will
lion,
wait
like a lion.
like a chasing a gazelle. He'll be
Yes,
right.
sir.
He'll be right in those
Yes,
tall
sir.
leaves, just
Good
scoping
morning,
out the
good morning,
scenery.
beautiful. Have you eaten? You want to go out? You want to do this?
So
And as soon as he knocks,
right. So
as soon as he knocks,
I think when it comes to, and I think this is the problem. People don't want to. Okay, let's be real. I don't think women want to work for a relationship.
I don't think people understand that we live in a very sexual.
No. I'm
society.
gonna be real. I don't think women want to work for a relationship, and the reason I say that is because
Not all women.
not all women, but there are some women that they don't want to work for a relationship.
True.
Perfect example: a man will be chasing.
Mhm.
He will chase you, take you out on dates, this, that, everything. And yes, I agree. A man should be the one to take you out on dates. He should be the one to, especially if it's a romantic type of thing. If y'all friends, hey, toss up the bill. Whoever it land on, pay for dinner. But if it's a romantic relationship, yes, I think a man should be the one,
Doing the chasing.
yeah, showing this woman
Showing
that,
her
hey, I should be somebody you should consider being in a relationship
Yeah,
with.
at the end of the day, I also still agree that
But women need to do the same thing.
we're involved into a different lifestyle now, where people go on dates and they split the bill.
No, but my main point is that a man should try to show to a woman that yes, I'm a potential mate that you should consider having in your life. But I think that a woman should do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yes, you're pretty. Yes, maybe the sex is bomb. Yes, but what else can you do for me besides the sex? What else can you do for me? Like, what else can you
make
do?
it clap?
And that's sex, bro. That's sex.
It's sexual, but it's not.
Okay,
sex.
whatever.
She says you can make it clap. You having a bad day. You win an award.
I don't, man. If I just lose my job, I don't want your ass shaking in my face.
She's trying to make you feel better.
I don't care.
What do you want? Her
I'm
to do?
thinking about how I'm going to get this next paycheck.
And she's gonna clap while you're thinking.
I don't need that. I like silence when I'm thinking.
Can she clap in the room while you're thinking?
Clap outside.
You kicking her out because she's clapping?
Clap outside.
She likes clapping, bro.
Nah, bro.
I think there needs to be a class to teach men how to be gentlemen and how to properly ask women out, and not to tell women that
There needs to be one for women too.
Yeah, I do believe that also.
But men are
I do believe
afraid.
that women need to be taught how to interact with a man and not automatically expect finances out of a man, or to go to the most expensive restaurant, or to go to the mall and blow some money by buying you designer. A date should be whatever you want it to be, but communication is required.
But men don't. Men
Discovering
don't
who you are.
Men don't.
Men
want,
they don't know how to.
No, I don't. I don't even think men want to, because men are afraid of getting rejected. If you see the way some of these men get rejected, you'll be like, damn. If I were you, I wouldn't want to ask out a woman again in my life.
Rejection
either.
is all sometimes your best teacher.
Mm-mm.
You ever take a
No,
test
no,
and
no,
fail
no.
it, and you take the test again and you pass it, but you learn.
No. I'm not talking about. No, I'm good. I'm talking about. Nigga, do you think you can holler at me? We ain't even on the same level. There's different ways to reject people. Like, for example, if I approach somebody,
That also has to do with pretty privilege too.
and that's what I mean. That's why I say you have to bring more than just being pretty in sex. You have to make this man say, you know what? I want to have this woman in my life because she's invaluable. The same way a man has to do it. But the problem is,
some of these guys are still going to just wife you up because you're a trophy wife. You look good, and they don't want nobody.
But guess what? That's what they want. That's what they need. That's what they want. They want
chasing.
That's what they want. They want a pretty woman on their arm, so when they go to events, they can be like,
the men that ultimately set themselves up are the men that have the money. They go chase these women that they don't know their personality, but they know their body. They have a fantasy of what they want to do to these women. And then they finally get with the woman and they're night and day. They have nothing in common, right? And now they're stuck because they probably already created a child.
Right, but then you see them go off and have a baby with an ugly woman.
Because that
and
ugly,
he's with
that
her,
ugly,
and he's
well,
like,
God don't make ugly, but the non-good looking woman is his piece.
Right.
She's
Well,
the
not
one
I
every
would
goes
woman.
to-
look. We ain't going to sit here and act like all the women that get wiped up are ugly. They
I
are
said
pretty.
God doesn't make ugly,
Oh no, but you said you
not good looking.
Okay, we ain't going to say that they not good looking either.
Okay, so they're challenging.
No, let's just say that
They're
got
appealing
the-
to somebody else.
they got the qualities.
Well,
that
because
the
she
man-
said ugly, and I said God don't make ugly. So that
Well, he was
I tried to
correct.
throw-
He was correcting.
Yeah, I
me.
try to throw in like a lighter thing because I don't like when
Well,
people
the
say
ones that are not
All that.
aesthetically pleasing
Mhm.
to society's standards.
Maybe the ones giving the men the peace.
Yes.
Because that's what they
The
want to
men
need.
actually want to find excuses to not be at home. We got 2 minutes, bro, so we got to wrap this up.
Yeah.
They don't want to be at home and they want to be with this other woman. And that other woman, the wife, is more upset that what does he see in her?
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't ask the question, how is she making him happy? Her main thing is the appearance.
Yes.
I look better than her.
Yeah.
My
Yes.
ass is fatter. But you don't
That
understand
makes
that when he's talking to her, guess what? She's not complaining. When he walks in that house, she's already cooking him food. She's asking how your day is. Men are not expressive, but when you knock on our door, we'll open the door for you. When you ask us, how are you doing? How's work? You know, is anything new at work? We'll probably start off by giving you very vague, it's good, it's okay, blah, blah, blah. But as you continue to ask and we see that you have real interest in it, you've opened up a whole nother level that just it's more than just sex now. Because I know you care deeper than just or finances. It's more than you caring about the money or where we're going to vacate next, or where we're going to go spend this money next, or where we're going to go have dinner, or other than that, you're actually honestly, genuinely concerned about my well-being.
Basically, you understand the other person. That's really the focus. You need to understand. And like I said, I don't have a problem with anybody wanting whatever qualities you want in a partner. That's good. You go get it, but you qualify for the person that you try to get. That's the main thing.
Yes, sir.
You can't just assume that just because you look a certain way, you talk a certain way, or you have certain things, you can just go ahead and get whatever you want to. You have to be able to know how to be a servant to others, if that makes sense. Yes,
It's a partnership.
But-
But until people understand it as a partnership, and you have to sacrifice and commit a lot, not a little, a lot for a long time. A lot of stuff that you were comfortable doing, you can't do anymore because you have to sacrifice and commit yourself to somebody else. We've run out of time right now. We wish we had some more time, but we will be back, I believe, because we're both gonna be out of town next week.
Yeah, we're gonna be
But we're gonna release some stuff on our page.
Yeah.
Because we recorded some of our. But happy birthday to my niece. She turns 3 today. Her name is. I'm not gonna give her name. My sister. She didn't put her name out there. But happy birthday! She's 3 years old. We'll be back maybe in the next 2 or 3 weeks.
About good 2-3 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, my boy's going international.
Well, no. I'll be back for a show before then.
That's what's up.
I'll be back for a show
Until
before
then,
then. Yeah.
if y'all have any topics that y'all want us to cover or talk about, go ahead and hit us on Lagos Traffic. What is
Yes.
our Instagram?
Our Instagram name is Lagos Traffic.
Lagos Traffic _213.
Yes.
Lagos Traffic _213. We'll be back. We appreciate y'all.
Yes. Peace.
Out.
Y'all take care. I don't know what that was.
It's your ad lib, bro.